Hi guys, it's EBPMAN with Tablets for Me, and today we're going to do an unboxing review of the Kingston MobileLite Wireless G2. Now before actually doing the unboxing, let's take a look at some of the features and why you would consider this solution for your mobile devices. The first thing that you'll see here at the very top is that it gives you the ability to extend your physical storage of your iPhone, iPad, Android tablet, Windows tablet by giving you access to either SD cards, USB flash drives. You should be able to connect a powered solid state drive or drive to this, so you should be able to get up to 2 terabytes of additional capability from a storage perspective. You also have this battery backup solution for your iPhone, for your tablet, 4,640 milliamp hours. So you can probably charge your device, depending on the battery, anywhere from 2 times, 1.5 times, as you know the phones are having larger capacity batteries. All you literally have to do is look at this number, this 4640, and then look at the battery on your phone, and then you just divide that and you'll see how many times you can charge it. This device is great for those of you who have a large family or a family that has multiple devices, and maybe your kids don't want to watch all the same movie. So what you could do is this could serve as a media server, and this device could stream 5 different movies or content to your devices simultaneously. So this is a great media server solution. And then from a card reader perspective, I know I found myself on trips and I may have taken with me my DSLR, taking some pictures on with my Canon DSLR, and I have to wait till I get home to be able to upload them or to edit them or to review them. So what you could do is you can actually take your camera photos, plug them into this this mobile solution, the MobileLite Wireless G2, and actually share them amongst your devices and even upload them if you wanted prior to getting home. And then the last thing here, and I find this also very convenient as a frequent business traveler, I find myself occasionally in a hotel that doesn't really have a strong Wi-Fi access in the hotel room, but it has a physical wireless or physical Ethernet connectivity in the hotel room. And what you could do is, using this hotspot feature, is connect this device through the Wi-Fi cable to that hotel, and then use that to create your own Wi-Fi with faster connection. You could also do this in someone's house as well. If you go to someone's house and they don't have Wi-Fi, but they do have physical hardwire connections. So a lot of capabilities here that you could actually leverage depending on what needs you have. I also find that this solution would be great for those of you who have just mixed devices, and some of the devices which have storage solutions and those devices that don't, as I mentioned, between an iPhone and an iPad, and then as you compare it to some of the Android tablets that have expandable solutions, this could be a happy medium where you could get content and music to everyone. Let's take a closer look at what's in the box. Inside the box, you'll find a micro USB charging cable, an instruction guide, the MobileLite G2, and an SD card reader so that you can use the micro SD from your cell phone, connect it into the card reader, and then use it in the device. So the MobileLite is not a really big device. As you can see here, I have an iPhone 6, and this is the standard one, not the 6 Plus, and here I have a Note Edge. You'll notice that it's significantly smaller than the Note Edge, but if we put the MobileLite next to an iPhone, you'll notice that it's just slightly wider than the iPhone 6, and if we compare it from a height perspective, it's slightly shorter than the iPhone 6. It's a tad wider, so if you take a look at it, we'll put it in this way right here, you'll notice that it's just a tad bit wider than that. So it's really not a large device if you can compare it to your cell phone. Taking a closer look at the actual ports themselves, let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look at all the controls in the ports. You have your battery indicator, you have your Wi-Fi indicator, and if you have this connected through the Ethernet connection to a wired internet connection, or also it could be bridged for those of you who are a little bit more technical. Can bridge this to an access point. You have your power button. Here, this is a reset pinhole, so if you hold or press, and I would say like a paperclip into this hole, and press and hold it, it will reset the device. And then you have your micro USB charging port. On this side, you'll notice that there's nothing on the device. We'll look in the back, has your Ethernet connection. Again, this is if you want to connect it to an internet supplied connection on the wall at a hotel room or in a home. And on this side, what you have is the USB, a standard USB charging port. So this is what you would do if you'd want to use this as a battery backup solution. You'd plug in your USB cable here, and you would use that USB cable to charge whatever USB chargeable device. Here we have our SD reader, where you would put in a standard SD, or it would support up to micro SD as well if you were to use that. The other thing that you could do with this port here is you could use this if you want to plug in a standard USB memory card for access to that as well. Let's take a look at now how we would connect a device and move files. Now, before being able to connect your devices to the MobileLite, you'll need to install the app. Now, if you're on an iPhone, you would obviously go to the iTunes App Store and download the MobileLite application, and this is what it would look like. If you're on an Android device, you would go to the Android Marketplace and then download the app on that marketplace and install it on the device as well. Now that we have the actual software installed on our phones, there's a couple things that I wanted to highlight. First, if you press the power button once, and it's just by a tap, it will basically light up and indicate that the battery light here in this area, just telling you that you have a charge. If you press and hold for a couple seconds, which is what you want to do, the actual device will go through its startup sequence. As you can see here, I have my Wi-Fi light enabled, which means my devices can connect wirelessly to the actual MobileLite. And then you also notice that the globe area here, which indicates I'm connected to the internet, means that this device will not only supply access to the content available on the two cards, but it's also going to allow my devices to go to the internet. And I'll show you how you do that. It's really easy to do. So let's go ahead and put the hotspot down, and let's go through the setup process and how you can see things. Now that we have the software installed both on our Android phone and our iPhone, we need to connect our phones to the actual MobileLite. Now, to do that, you go into your Wi-Fi settings, and you'll notice that there is a Wi-Fi connection that's called MLWG2-A558. That is the MobileLite. So what we'll do is we'll connect to that in order to be able to start our access to any of the USB or SD cards that are connected to the MobileLite. Now, before we actually go over the actual app, I wanted to show you some of the settings. We're going to go in by tapping on the three dots. You're going to choose settings, and a couple things you're going to find here. First, you're going to find the actual MobileLite wireless ID or name, and you'll see that right there. You'll also see your battery life, so it's going to tell you what type of battery you have. There are some settings, for example, the auto shutdown setting that allows the MobileLite to shut down if there is no activity to save battery life. Your firmware version, and this is important for you to maintain your MobileLite up to date and to make sure that it performs to its best. I always recommend checking, making sure that you have the most current firmware installed. You have under MobileLite wireless connection, you have the setting that refers to visibility. That means that this ID that's here on the top is going to be broadcasting. So it's going to broadcast, and it's going to be visible for any device that wants to connect to it. You also have the channel where you're connecting to, and if you have problems connecting with, or rather yet connection speed issues or challenges, you could change your wireless channel to improve the overall performance. And then one other area here is security, so you can actually put a password so that when you do connect, you can set a password. Right now, default, it does not require a password. And by the way, you can change any of these just by tapping on it. You can actually change the actual name or SSID if that's something that you chose to do. As soon as you do that, it's going to go ahead and update it, and it will reset and restart your access point. So let's give it a second, and we'll continue the video. Now, the next thing you can do is connect the MobileLite to your Wi-Fi network so that your devices that are connected to the MobileLite will also be connected to the internet. If you don't do this, your devices, while they're connected to the MobileLite, will not be able to connect to the internet. So all you do is you tap in this area where it says network connection. You would put in your Wi-Fi credentials, your Wi-Fi name and credential, and what will happen is this little LED that you see here will become illuminated because it's saying I can connect to it, and I can also connect to the internet because it's connected to my wireless network at home. Further down, what you'll find is also the ability that if you have a 3G dongle that can connect to this port right here, this USB port, you could actually have the MobileLite have internet connectivity all by its own if you have one of those solutions provided by your wireless carrier. All right, so now let's go back. Those are some of the basic settings that I found that would be important. And let's look at what we see here. So what I'm doing is I can see my USB drive, and I can go from drive to drive, USB drive and SD card. And when I'm in this area here, I have a couple of options, things that I can do. This little plus sign that appears here gives me the ability to create a folder if I'd like here, or also a document. I can copy information as well from one drive to another. And what I'll do is I'll choose the copy function. Right? And I can say I want it to the SD card, and I'm going to hit copy. And when I hit copy, I want you to notice on the top there's going to be a progress bar. It's kind of light, but you'll see how it will go straight through, and it's around a 30 meg file, so you see how fast it is. So I'm going to say copy here and watch the top. So it goes through, and when I go over here, you'll notice how fast that file's coming across. Right now there's 14 meg of the 33 that went across, so it'll just it's just updating it as it's copying the information. Now, if you want to be able to play a movie or anything that you have, video content, or watch photos, all you have to do is just tap it. And what will happen is the function or the program that you have on your phone that allows you to either view photos or view videos would by default kick in. You'll notice I have several videos here, and I have videos of different sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how fast the actual device will play a video. So this is a video that I have done for a speaker, and I just want you to see how fast it loads. Now I'm going to tap the open. I could tap on the video as well, but I just want to show you the features that you have here. So you have copy, open, delete, and then information on the file. So I'm just going to do an open, and I'm going to choose open, and you'll see how quickly the actual file is loading. So it is actually taking place or playing the video right at the point that I had previously left off, and you saw how fast that was. So it was able to pick that up pretty quickly. Now if I go to the iPhone, let's look at the iPhone app just for a second. So I'm going to open up my iPhone, make sure I unlock it. Now the Apple version of the app is a little different, so let's take a look at some of the features that we have here. Let's make sure that we're close enough. We'll go ahead and we'll look at this area first. What you have is the ability to go to your home screen, the ability to look at all videos, all photos, and all music. And what you could do is take files from your iPhone by choosing copy from photos, and it will bring it over to the actual device. If I choose settings, let's go ahead and choose that. What you'll find is the same settings that you saw in the Android version. You have the name of the device as it's recognized wirelessly, battery life, the auto shutdown feature, the firmware, the visibility, the wireless channel. If you have a security setting on, encryption, I have it off, but you can enable this and then you'd have a password. The wireless access or network that's providing the pass-through so that when you're connected to the actual MobileLite, you have an internet connection. So we're going to press home. But that's pretty much all the settings that you have there. So let's go to the home screen, and I'm going to show you how you can deal with file management. From a file management perspective, it is different from the Android application, but still functional. So what you're going to do is if you want to be able to copy a file, you're not going to find any copy options. You're not going to be able to press and hold and bring up a menu to do copy or select it and do something. What you have to do is actually first select the file that you want, and then you would take any action that you'd like on it. So what I'm going to do is, just to show you how that would work, is I'm going to first delete a file and then copy one over. So I'm going to choose the PDF on Roam. And once I'm here, I'm going to tap the delete icon, that one right there. So I'm going to hit delete, and once I hit delete, you'll notice that the file disappeared. If I want to copy it from here to here, I'm going to select it, And then you'll notice here I have a folder. I'm going to tap on that folder icon, and then I have the ability to copy it to multiple areas. So I'm going to choose, in this case, the SD drive. And I have the options here on the bottom to say copy here, move here, or create a folder. So I'm going to copy it here. Now, once I do that, I'll go back. And in a second, what you'll do is you'll see that the file that's on the top, it's a 30 meg file, is going to show up on the bottom. So I'm just going to refresh, and you'll see how it showed up immediately. Those are all the real settings that you have when it comes to the Apple version of the app. Now, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and choose a video, and we're going to choose the Note 4 video. You'll notice that I still have here pause the video I was playing, and actually what I'll do is just to show you the playback capability, I'll play both simultaneously once the file loads here on my iPhone. So in the background I have again that video that I had shown you earlier. I'm going to hit play. And now this is a video that for another product that we had reviewed, and what you can see here is I have two videos running at the same time, and while the audio may not be coming across quickly, one of the things I will tell you is that there is no lag. I'm not seeing any pause, and I can play multiple videos at the same time. So that's pretty impressive that you can actually do that, and this makes it a great choice, especially for those of you who want to be able to provide access to media to a larger family that may have multiple devices. Now, the last thing I want to show you is probably one of the coolest things that you can do with the MobileLite. I have the MobileLite connected to the Seagate laptop style hard drive, and the drive is being powered by the MobileLite. And if we go to the actual app that I have on my Android phone, you'll notice now I have my SD still available because that's connected. And when I go into a USB drive, it's no longer a thumb drive, it's an actual hard drive, a 2 terabyte hard drive. And you'll notice, all my Seagate files are there, and I can actually access, create folders, move files back and forth between my hard drive and my SD card. This really makes this device an incredibly powerful solution, especially for those of you that are in college. So you could actually use this drive and the MobileLite combination to back up all your school files, any information that you need to use or share in your dorm. Matter of fact, one of the things that you could do with this solution as well is if you are in a dorm setting and you find that the Wi-Fi usage in your dorm is oversaturated because there's so many people using Wi-Fi, and you happen to have an Ethernet connection in your dorm that you can connect your laptop to. Well, using the port in the back, you can actually connect the MobileLite to that port and then create your own personal hotspot and use that to connect your laptop, your smartphone, or any device that you have, and you're not competing for bandwidth because you have that direct connection and you're the only person that's on this device. So again, one of the coolest features I found, being able to connect a hard drive to the MobileLite and being able to access it, and it's completely self-powered. Now, one of the things I will recommend, and this is one of the things that I tried with the MobileLite, is if you're going to have this set up or have it serving for a very long period of time as a virtual access point for internet access, I recommend plugging it in and keeping it plugged in. That's just how I've been using it and been very happy with it. So this concludes my review of the MobileLite Wireless G2 mobile companion. As you can see by all the features that we've discussed on the video, it's a very flexible solution for those of you who need to extend your storage to virtually hard drives, USB drives, or SD cards, need a battery backup solution for your phone because of the onboard battery, and it really gives you the ability to stream media to multiple devices at the same time. If you have any comments or questions about this video, please feel free to leave it on the YouTube channel. Once again, I want to thank Kingston for making this device available for us for review. I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.